It is 6:04 on Tuesday, June 28th, 2022. This is a meeting of the Board of Directors of Abington CAM, Abington Community Access and Media, Inc., the private nonprofit 501c3 corporation that runs the cable television studio here in Abington. The first item on our agenda, old and new business. We have none unless somebody's got an issue. Approval of meeting minutes. They are from March 15th, 2022. I don't know if everybody had a chance to look at them. Already?
I'd motion to accept those.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next item, the tax returns. Just wanted to let everybody know that they are complete through 2021. They are actually there on the table if anybody wants to take a look at them. We have all of our financial reviews, and the 2019 audit is done. And it's my understanding they're all filed with the state, so we are up to date with all of our state, federal, and town paperwork.
To be filed electronically or paper?
Electronically.
Okay, from going forward?
Yeah, electronically.
With the same accounting firm?
Yeah, this is DiBiase and Nash.
Yep.
Out of Revere.
Okay. Cool.
Banking, just so everybody knows, this is from like last Thursday, I think I put this in. We have $50,046 in our 15-month CD at 0.45% interest that matures on June 19th of 2023. We have $619,896 in the money market account, $59,573 in the checking right now, and $120,000 each into annuities. That gives us a total of $969,515 between the banking and annuities. So we have another enterprise fund voucher that I'm working on that won't be finalized until June. What do we have, 30 days in June? June 30th. Right now that voucher is at $93,127. So that'll give us $1,062,642 once we receive the reimbursement. And we have, last year we had until July 10th to submit the voucher. I don't know what Andrew is going to want this year, but it'll definitely be ready for him. So our FY22 expenditures through June 22nd, so that's the day I did this, was $255,193. Our FY22 revenues, $291,462.36, and that is the final for FY22 because we're paid quarterly, so there's nothing else we're expecting to come in.
That's got a little bit more than we expected. That's nice.
Our Comcast
rate went up, and you're doing Verizon now. Have you started, Peter?
Yes, that'll.
Okay.
It will renew in February of next year.
February. Okay.
We have the 3-year annuity, 2 of them, that the interest rate was, it's 2.85. It's supposed to be, I have that 2.82.
So it's gone up now to 4.
It's gone up, yep. I spoke to Chris Fulton, the financial advisor, and he said that, I spoke to him last week. So July 1st, it will be 4.0 to 4.25. He's predicting.
Okay, so we have 2 at 2.8. Is that we have the 2 120s?
2.85, yeah.
2.85?
Mm-hmm. 2 of them for 3 years.
Okay. And so then we're going to go and do, on July 1st, we're going to do another one for the 250? Is that what we're going to do?
So
Yeah,
what we've done already is 2 120,000.
Yes, I know.
So
Right.
240. And
240.
And now it's gone up because of the interest rate adjustments that
Yes.
the Fed has been moving.
Yeah, we
So
expected
it looks
that.
like we're in a good spot for July if
Yes.
the pleasure of the board is to have another 240 moved. It looks like we could afford to do that.
We could
Yes.
afford, we could definitely afford to do that. We have 620,000 in the money market account right now, earning 0.1% interest. So,
Yes, but
he-
I mean, it'll benefit in the end when you stagger them.
yeah.
So you do in July, you'll do one, and then we'll do another one in August?
Well, Chris told me that he doesn't
Yeah.
expect the interest rate to go up from the 4.0, 4.25 for another 2 months after.
Okay, so then we'll wait 2 months.
Yeah.
So we can
Okay.
revisit after.
Revisit, yeah.
So we had, just so you know, we had 258,776 in one CD that matured, and I put it in the money market, and 257,773 in the other CD that matured, and it's in the money market.
Okay, and can we refresh my memory on why we did 120 and 120 versus the 240 altogether? I know there was a reason, but I can't quite remember what.
Well, we did the 240 for one thing because it's insured with the company it's with for up to 250. So once
Okay.
we get the interest on it, we'll be at about the 250. So that's all we want to go with each company.
And we separated it
that
into
have
120 and 120.
And the
Why?
120 and 120 was just in case we should happen to spend $1 million and need the 120.
Okay.
If you ever need to break
Yeah,
into
okay.
the bank.
I knew it was the
smaller
reason, but I couldn't
portions,
remember.
that's
That
all.
way, yeah,
All right.
the penalty is less.
Now, are we going to do
Because
that
it's
going
counts
forward, or are we
against
just
the
going to put these?
And the interest rate's the same, so I think we should repeat what we've done.
Okay.
You don't
Do the
Just do
gain-
120 and 120?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just so I
if we
can-
should happen to need it. But these, so the ones that we already have will be maturing first. If we go with the 3 years, I'm assuming
Yeah.
Yes.
3 and not 5.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna move that we move.
Well, we could do 1 at 5 and then 2 at 3.
Well, it depends on how long everybody wants to be here, you know.
Oh, that's true. You
Yeah,
have to go, kind of go
because-
with your, yeah,
yeah.
you're right. You have
That's
to go with
why
your
we
term.
went with the 3 year, yeah. And they will roll over or continue on after the 3 years. If the directors in 3 years did nothing, it would continue on with the percentage rate it's at.
Okay.
So I move that we move 2 increments of 120,000 into 3-year CDs
Annuity.
and annuities. I stand corrected.
Effective July 1.
Effective July 1st.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So,
Will you arrange Chris to reach out to us for those signatures?
yes, let me just write this down.
So that's a September 1st revisit for the last one?
For July 1st.
Could be earlier, right? July 2, could be, yeah, September, 2 months.
Yeah, he said he's expecting that the feds will raise the interest rate in 2-month increments, but I guess it's kind of wait and see to
Right.
what they actually do.
Good and bad.
Yeah, Chris lives nearby. He lives somewhere near Warmington Furniture, he said, so,
Okay, Markland.
yeah, so he's close and he can come here and
This is good.
at any time with the paperwork.
Great.
you know.
Cool.
Or actually, I go by his exit in Marshfield every day, so I could pick it up too. But he said he doesn't mind coming here.
Okay.
So the next item, we're done with that, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is the MOU with the public schools, the memorandum of agreement. And we have reached a, what's the
Agreement,
word?
everybody.
Consensus?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So I think we just need a vote to accept approval of it.
I move that we accept the memorandum of understanding as negotiated with the school.
Do you have a second?
I'm gonna second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I heard only nice things about that process of getting that business
Yeah.
conducted, by the way, so. Good relationship.
The renewal of our executive director's contract.
Did you skip over the stipend for the mileage?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking right at it. Okay, mileage stipend for studio-related travel. I gave everybody the paper that says IRS on the top, and that's just the IRS allowable deduction. Last line.
So basically, you
There
just
it
want to add.
Jeez. So it was like 54.5 or something, and it went up to
0.585.
85, and it went up to 62.5 cents per mile.
Effective July 1, actually.
Yeah, July 1st. Yeah. So it occurred to me that although usually everybody doesn't travel very far to record events, there are some that are way out. Not typically, but even, if you do 3 events that are a mile away every day, it's still 6 miles a day. So I thought that we might want to consider the mileage stipend for our employees.
Yeah. Shortest
Which would
distance.
be a spreadsheet you'll control.
Yep. Shortest distance. Always.
Yeah, and not from home, from the studio
From
to
to the studio to the
the site.
Yeah.
If
And
I
back.
may, maybe what's interesting is this year when it came to the playoffs and all the high school sporting teams are magnificent. All of them make it into the playoffs, deep into the playoffs, but the playoff system this year, as the MIAA has dictated, basically took a lot of our teams around the state. And there were times we had to be creative where staff members, interns would get on a bus. We would speak with the athletic director and say, is there a spot? Or we would have a parent, or we would have a volunteer who was heading up, and Matt would jump in and go up with them. So we've had to be creative because of the $4.50, $5 gas per gallon gas.
But that might
that
be
you
something
pay.
you want to talk to the athletic director about, making sure there's a seat on there for the ACAM to cover it.
And they were good. They actually had offered and said, yeah, there's a way for us to accommodate. So again, it's part of the great partnership we have with the school system.
Great.
But even so, they go to like every church
Oh, I know.
in the area and other off-site events.
So we've not paid miles in the past, and
No.
I think with the gas price right now, it's become more noticeable for the commute and the need. And boy, I hope we have the same great problem of being deep in tournaments and all that, because I think those miles covered by ACAM is important. I would be very supportive of reimbursing the employees. It gets concerning if, do we have any liability if we're reimbursing kids to drive cars or interns, or is this an employee-only type of approach?
Employee only. We don't have any liability. We reimburse mileage.
It was strictly, I would think it'd be employee.
Do the interns typically travel to an event alone?
If they would travel via the school bus. They have that ability to be able to get on the bus and go, and we've never had a problem in the past where they're like, no, the bus is full. There's always been an option for them to get on the bus and travel with their peers.
So would you imagine we're administering this mileage reimbursement to ACAM employees only and not
Yes.
interns?
Correct.
Yeah, if we were going to do an interns and stuff, we probably have to talk to Peter about that and see
That's
what the liability
correct,
comes from.
yeah.
Yeah, and are you okay, so it's not a wage, it's not a salary, it's not a payroll, we'd have to reimburse.
Correct.
Yes.
Are you comfortable, one, if you were to track and trend in a spreadsheet the miles being requested, And do you think there would be a comfort of maybe we're cutting monthly checks to an employee, not daily or weekly reimbursement? It's just we're gonna generate a lot of paperwork.
Well,
Good.
if I may,
Yep.
what we do is we reimburse them in their paycheck. So what you do is it's mileage reimbursement, and then you just add it to their paycheck. So everybody would have their mileage. He would send you the mileage. It'd be a line item that
I'll
you
have
would
to
send.
follow up with our payroll to see if they can do that.
Oh, they can do it.
Well,
They-
I just want to ask.
Yeah, okay.
And if the payroll can address it, it's great. We can
Yeah.
communicate that the same way we always have. Which, by the way, those are every other week we have payrolls cut. So if the payroll can address it, and I'll chase that tomorrow, that may be a quicker reimbursement. But if not,
That would be better.
would you be able to do it monthly or so?
Whatever is best. Any new initiative is going to be a trial and error, and you'll find the best method, the best way to do it. If the best way to do it is through payroll, then we do it that way. I can keep a spreadsheet, have documentation that they're submitting, so at least we can keep track of it, and we have a paper trail for it.
If I
Hey,
could recommend too, what we do is we have a spreadsheet, and we just have mileage for certain, like for the church, for the school, for the certain
Yep.
fields.
Yep.
And if you already have it set up, you already know the shortest distance, and that's what they just have to submit it. So it stays the same. It's not different for everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be
To the
much
common places you
easier
go all the time.
to be able to do it through the payroll.
Yeah,
Just
I'll call
because
them
it'll
tomorrow and see if
cut
we can
down
get
on
some
checks.
traction on that.
Plus, you can track it too. A lot easier. Payroll will give you a report of how much mileage is at the end of the year.
Yeah, so then we would need the spreadsheet for accounting purposes as well for the
For tax purposes.
taxes and
Expenses.
the
Yes.
enterprise fund.
Right.
You know.
Well, that would come out of payroll, correct? So it would be.
Yeah,
it
so
would be in the payroll.
the way it
report.
is now,
Just broken out
because the payroll service takes it out in taxes, payroll, and the fee, it would be a fourth item.
Reimbursement
Yeah.
expenses.
Yeah, as a total, not per person,
Yeah.
just every 2 weeks, every time they do it. It's each item separately in our bank statement. So we just need, I
You
just
have to
give them
find out how
the,
they would do that. Where would they put it?
Yeah,
Would they put
that's
it
all.
in the
Yeah.
gross?
I have no problem asking, we'll find out, but I think the theme here is, I'm supportive, I would motion to support reimbursing employees at the federal rate, effective July 1st, by the way, but for miles endured for work.
Sure.
By the rule, it's not the commute to work, it's the miles
To and from the
endured for
studio.
work. right?
Two of those. I second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Good idea. Thanks, Kevin.
It was,
Thanks for administering. Good idea, Lisa.
Yeah, it occurred to me when I
This
saw
gas prices
somebody's
are
car at
crazy right
town
now.
hall. Executive directors, contract
Our
renewal.
gas is doubled every month. Doubled.
Crazy.
Our gas expense.
Have an extra one, Lisa.
I haven't, yeah. So, as I understand it, we've all agreed on the terms, it's just a matter of the start date. And I put May 24th on this one that I printed out because I printed this out when we had planned to meet May 24th, and that didn't happen. So, I think that's the only issue, and that would be the vote.
Yeah, I know the term that has a date on the existing one we got in contract. I'd like to propose that, we make it effective October 1st in a 6-year path, if that's okay. I know we have made mention of where we want to take that. So hopefully if that works for you, we can maybe just finalize that. I think we've tried to agree as a board where we are on what we want to offer you and extend your contract.
and it's appreciated. The early discussions as to where to go and how to go, and being able to put this together. So thank you. And thank you for the confidence and support that you have in the organization as we are moving forward. It's appreciated.
You've done a great job, Kevin.
It's been a team effort.
Yes.
It isn't just me. It isn't just Jessica, it's all of us together
Everybody
pulling in the same
together.
direction. That's what's important.
Are you blinking? 3 years went so fast in some ways?
They go.
So
They go.
this contract is up October 15th.
We're going to restart another one October 1st.
So, okay, you're just not gonna
We'll
roll
go with
into
the
it,
same
okay.
quarter, yep.
All right.
So you,
We'll have an effect.
you moved it, and
We need to second.
second?
I have second.
All
you
in
did?
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So Bob moved and Jessica seconded. Executive Director's Report is the last thing, unless anybody has anything further.
So
Oh.
I,
We were talking about, did we bring, we didn't put it on there, scholarships? That was supposed to be on the agenda. 2 scholarships for ACAM, no?
We talked about that?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we
Guess you
do
gotta
it,
refresh my memory.
do it.
To
at the
offer,
last-
offer an ACAM
Walk on,
scholarship.
can we walk on and let him do the executive report?
Yep.
And then it'll be a walk on topic?
Yeah,
All
general
right.
business not reasonably anticipated, right?
Is it in yours too?
yep.
Oh, no, you didn't put it in yours? Okay.
No?
No, I told him
I
not
totally
to. I
forgot.
told him not to because we were gonna do it. Right.
Could you just look at the monitor and make sure that we're all in frame? Thank you. Just type on it real quick. So each of you have a packet, not only with my report, also with some additional data that's part of my talking points, and we'll just tick down as we go. It's double-sided, just so we can save trees. Starting with the marketing outreach, we have seen, continue to see growth on all social media platforms, which means that people are paying attention to what it is that we're sharing, whether it's studio events or if we're live streaming an event. Folks are really paying attention and following what we do and even sharing it, which is great. What's even more interesting is how much growth we have seen in our YouTube channel. I'm not sure as to how long the previous YouTube channel was in effect. I believe it might have been around 2010, 2011, if I was to guesstimate. This one, where we just started January 2020 because of unforeseen circumstances, we've actually almost equaled what we had grown. I think a lot of that is attributed to using the online platform to live stream certain events and folks wanting to subscribe and know when we were going live. I think that really helped grow our numbers. One of the things that continues to be a very popular event, and I just highlighted, is the summer concerts. We know summer concert season is right around the corner, just a mere 2 weeks away. But one of the Beatles tribute band, the Studio 2, continues to be popular, one of the popular events that we have on that particular site. Student interns. We have 4 senior interns that have graduated. That's under the heading of leaving. Remaining, we actually have 5 interns. 3 are going into grade 11. 2 are going into grade 10.
Are, out of those 3 and 2, how many are paid?
Right now, 4 of them are.
4.
Yep. Newest intern is Wayne Mounts. He just happened to want to join. Intern hours, and this is up to today's date. I gave you a cumulative number, 361 hours to date. Our wages earned times what the state rate is $5,151.38. That's what we have spent on interns the first 6 months of 2022. Episodic intern programs. We still have the senioritis. We actually shot a couple of episodes prior to them leaving. And then we have the newer interns who are doing their own particular productions. We still hold intern meetings on Thursdays. Jumping down to production, I know a couple of meetings ago it was kind of asked as to, yes.
Can I just ask, Are these going into grade 11, going into grade 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was going to put the grades that they were in, but they've kind of
They're
school's
moving up,
over.
just so,
they're
yeah,
kind
so
of
it makes a little bit
moving
more
on.
sense, okay.
Is it out? Is it out?
Yes, it was out as of last week.
Just
Yes, time flies. Cablecast and programming. 395 new shows that have been added to the playback system between March and June 28th. Average run time of about 51 minutes. Sports is a big thing, a big chunk of what we do. Giving you coverage as to what we covered between March and June 28th. 50 games, that includes playoff games, road games, as we had talked about earlier, the MIAA. Total for the year, 211 games. Now, that is the 211 games that we may have produced, but it's a combination of whether it's home or away. If another school tapes it and puts it up, we'll pull it down. We'll do a little bit of editing. We'll put maybe a graphic at the beginning of it, and maybe a lower third, so folks know exactly what it is that they are watching. There is a spreadsheet that we have been keeping. Matt Nelson does a great job in keeping this up to date. If you wanted to have an idea as to how many home games or how many away games, there's an accounting of each one, how it was captured, who the commentators were, do we have interns that were involved. It's really broken down really well. Okay?
So do you work with Pete Serino here and make sure he, does he tell you which ones he wants covered and which ones he doesn't, or?
Say that again?
Pete Serino, does he tell you which ones he wants covered or anything like that? Or you just cover? I mean, how do you know which ones to cover is my question.
We just do.
You just do?
We just do. Here's the thing: is if we have bodies that are available, if we do not have other commitments, we do our best to go and cover something.
Okay.
Also, if we have notice, there have been times where a game has been scheduled for that day, and we're not aware of it, whether it was a reschedule. If we can get a camera out there, if we can get a camera and a commentator out there, we do our best. Again, we have a really good relationship, and we also kind of stay on top of things. We keep our eye on social media. A lot of times, the athletic director, Pete Serino, will tweet, this is what's going on. The coaches will tweet. We've got a great rapport with a lot of the coaches and a lot of the athletes as well. So we hear from them as to what's going on, just to stay on top
So
of
you
that.
just watch for them, nobody sends you a schedule?
Well, again, it's kind of doing our job and staying on top of it and watching for it.
Yeah, I just figured maybe somebody sent you a schedule and said, hey, these are the games, you know what I mean? Or not.
Sometimes they move too, so.
Say that-
Sometimes they move and playoff games are adjusted, so.
Right.
it's
Sometimes we get a heads
staying
up.
Plugged in.
And it depends also. I mean, sometimes you get busy, and being an athletic director, you get pulled in different directions. You're managing so many teams during a particular time of year or season. And so we try to do our best to just kind of keep an eye on it if we see it.
And it's working.
And it's working.
211
How did
times.
track and field go?
So track and field is interesting. Well, it's interesting you mention that because I actually was able to grab one of our alumni interns, Derek Terrell, whose sister happened to be competing that day in the high jump. So he was kind enough, cordial enough. He had just come home from college, and I'm like, work your camera? He goes, I was going to be there anyway. So
Awesome.
he was there. Meanwhile, I was down the end. We have something called an Eyes in the Air. It's a 20-foot tripod that goes up in the air. And I basically manned that all day between whether it was a high jump, whether it was a mile, we would follow them as they went around. It's a little tough. It's a little wonky, but we wanted to at least make the attempt. We've done tennis. We've experimented with tennis where we try to do all courts. It's kind of like, they're like ants.
Yeah.
To where we would do half, the 3 courts, and it's kind of even. So it's even got to the point where I have a good relationship with the tennis coach to say, who do you want to feature today? And we'll feature just that one tennis match.
That's a good idea.
So we've done that, and it's worked out really well.
And you follow the ball, or you just...
Nope, just a wide shot. Just like you would watch it. Like if you watch Wimbledon, you're watching a wide shot. It's only until afterwards where they cut away, where they're bouncing the ball. They get ready to when they get ready to serve, then they go back to the wide shot. Just kind of knowing what's what. So again, it's something that I don't think we have ever covered before, and it's an opportunity to try doing it. Now, if Matt Nelson has his way, he'd like to do cross-country, but his request is that he gets a golf cart. So he can be in the golf cart as he is in front of the pack.
In front of the pack.
In front of the pack. Almost like the Tour de France.
Marathon.
Like the Tour de France, where you've got the scooters in front, and you got one person driving, and you go over the camera, and as the runners are,
Good stay out of
keeping
the way, though.
Right.
I think you should put on a GoPro and run with them.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea.
Maybe if he was a couple of years younger, I would suggest it. Wrestling also was another one that we did. But we actually got that from another community and saw it and saw an opportunity to grab it.
That's great.
Some of the many events that we try our best to cover. We had 9 particular events for the high school, a fashion show, concerts, the senior prom, the junior prom, the senior awards, athletics being seniors being recognized, to the senior parade, to of course ultimately the graduation that took place. I'm pleased to say that it was flawless this year. Knock on wood. No issues, but again, at a moment's notice, something could go wrong. Hopefully folks realize that we are doing our best if something happens, if a camera goes down, but we try to stay on top of those things. So we were lucky this year for that to happen.
Did they not have a play this year?
Say that again?
Did they not have a play this year? I don't see that on here.
A play?
Spring
Oh,
play.
they did do a play, but that's one of those things that we cannot. If anything, it's a training opportunity. We'll tape it, but it's just an opportunity for the students to learn how to work a camera, to switch. But it's something that we can't broadcast. We would have to pay for the
Copyright.
rights.
It's a license issue.
Correct.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Correct.
realize that.
Although, I will say, we did tape an event at the Woodsdale for Aladdin that is in edit right now, where the school actually paid for the rights for us to be able to broadcast that.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be fun and exciting once that's done. Middle school events, a couple of concerts, and the Memorial Day event. Other events that government meetings, 50 meetings is keeping track of a breakdown as to some of the things that we've covered. Community events from St. Patrick's Day Parade to the Historical Society of Abington conversations that are very, very popular. And Peter being, I believe, a member or somebody who is involved with the Dyer.
Yes. I'm there.
It's amazing to be able to go there and hear the history and hear the folks talk about it. To our normal events like Memorial Day, the Memorial Day ceremony, to the town choir and town band performing at the musical celebration for the town's 310th birthday. We covered that. There are things that aren't on here that are in edit, so I did not add those. That's like covering the reenactments that took place over at the Island Grove or the fishing derby. Those are things that are in the works as well. Episodic programs. There's a breakdown from the interviews we did with candidates running for office to the Madden show, to the Pizza Boys and community chats that other than the interviews with local candidates. Our religious programming, get a breakdown for that. Again, it was asked for previously, so I thought I would kind of go through the extra trouble to share that.
Yeah.
New show, Oscar Mike Radio. It's a local gentleman, Travis Partington, who actually talks to veterans, does a podcast, and is sharing that with us.
Oh, that's good.
And finally, moving on to miscellaneous town hall equipment update. 6 cameras have been purchased, and they were paid for by the town. That was on the recommendation of the vendor to be able to lock in the price. Town manager Scott Limbiace was on board with making that purchase, as they are going to help us with American Rescue Plan Act money, or ARPA money. So those have been purchased.
So we don't have to reimburse that?
No.
They pay for
Okay, that's great.
COVID money.
The vendor has already begun ordering the audio and video equipment, and the only thing we're doing right now is setting a target date for late July. We think that's going to be the last week of July. It's just a matter of informing the other boards if they can kind of hold off from holding meetings, that we will be in those rooms doing work. Once invoices and payments, once invoices have been sent out, payments will need to be arranged. But I'm looking forward to that, and as I'm sure everybody else is, we'll have new gear in those rooms. I would say sorely needed.
Kevin, you might recall you had brought along a sample device that you were going to mount on the table
Yes.
to see how it did. How did it work?
So it worked well, and so we are going to, that's also part of it. We will purchase 2 meeting owls, and we will also purchase 2 MacBooks to go along with those to be able to be used in the and what's the other room? Meyer room, thank you.
Downstairs.
Ware Meyer, yes,
Yeah.
that is correct.
Can you do me a favor? Can you give us an outline of what we're doing, purchasing
Yes.
for the town hall and everything, so we have an idea of everything?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Moving on to the summer camps. 2 sessions, those are already in the works, as we actually started promoting that today, after we got the go-ahead from the middle school for us to be able to do it. They basically reusing what we used last year. We just want to make sure they were on they were in on what we were doing, and were aware. They also will have a couple of those permission slips at the front in the front office for folks to come and grab if anybody wants to.
Well, now, will we have any here, just in case they come here?
Well, a lot of people will do it digitally, so what'll happen is
okay.
they will email us, and I'll send them a PDF for them
Okay.
to complete and send back to us.
Did you get any positive feedback yet? Because I saw you did that this morning.
I did. We received a lot of positive feedback from
Okay.
folks who chimed in and think that it's a fantastic thing, and knowing that at this particular time that we're offering 2 sessions, and at this moment it's free.
It's free.
At this moment, all good things must come to an end.
Yes.
But again, we have the
As long
fantastic.
as we have the funds, it'll be free.
Yes. Matt Lyons and Derek Terrell will do the first one. They were the originals who did it last year, and then because of his busy schedule, Derek will not be able to do the beginning of August, but Erin Johnson is going to be joining and be participating in the second session, so we're looking forward to that.
And how many students each session?
12, it'll be 12.
12 each?
12 each. And that was a part of the conversation that I had with all 3 is how many is too many? What do you want to be able to handle? And 12 seemed to be like a good number.
Yeah, they're at a good age too, 5, 6, 7th grade, 5th, 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah.
Up there.
And you filled it last year, didn't you?
Yes, we did. And we actually had people afterwards asking, after the fact, going, so that's why we added the second session. Let's see what ends up happening with it. And then I'm going to be looking to purchase some drones. The idea of the drones is, again, it's another camera, another opportunity to be able to capture things. We actually borrowed a drone to be able to help with the town and the town website. The idea is to be able to capture images and share with the town for their website, but also to actually implement into programming. One of our new shows, Mad Dog's Menus, actually uses drone footage outside, as well as one of the new shows, the Madden Report, where actually we use the drone inside, where the 2 hosts we're in the gym, and the drone basically it's almost like having a jib. We get the camera coming over, but it's a little bit inexpensive.
And you can follow the track and fielders with it.
Yeah, there you go.
You could.
No?
You could. The only thing you have to worry about is it landing on them.
Yeah.
That was
We
the
hope
only
you
thing.
have a good drive.
But the drones that we have picked out, one of them will be a little bit more of a high end. 2 of them will be a little inexpensive. The idea is to have the inexpensive ones not only for learning tools, but also for members to be able to use if they want to. If they want to be able to grab shots and utilize it for productions that they do here at Abington. Yes. So you actually have the two different models that we're looking at. The mini fly more combo. That's the one that's this one. Okay. As you see, it comes with spare parts, propellers. That's why it's a little bit costly, because not only do you need, in case it happens to land the wrong way, you have somebody who's a novice, you'd be able to replace parts, but also batteries. Drones tend to, although it's over the years they've gotten better, drones tend to burn through batteries, so you get extra batteries for that. So I will be looking to make those purchases. The prices are on them.
Are they rechargeable?
The
Yes.
batteries are rechargeable,
Yes.
that is correct.
Kevin, could you clarify for me
You recharge yourself?
what the license is the license to utilize the machine, or is that like an FAA to fly
It's
a
an
drone in
FAA,
town?
if it's an FAA, in order that you can fly the drone, but you'd be doing it illegally. The other thing that they have built in now is you actually have to punch in your license number to be able to fly to a certain height. There's almost like a ceiling that won't allow you to go further.
The drone itself.
The drone itself, so you need to be
So-
licensed.
So the license is paid to who? That's what I'm asking. Is it to the drone
The
It's
company? or to the
to the federal government.
Is there a course that has to be taken for
Yes, yes. So that's the
that? Is that
$150.
folded into it?
It's $150, and so that'll be
That's the course and the license?
the cost of the license.
And that would be you and Matt, obviously, right?
That's correct. Yes. Any questions?
Gonna have to keep those under lock and key.
Yes.
Those interns will wanna play with them.
Well, again, our cabinets, I do actually have our equipment is secure. We can't just walk into the office and find the doors open if there's no staff members here. Those cabinets are locked, and all of our
I can see
expensive
Aaron wanting to
equipment.
play with that.
Kevin, is this price 28 something, is that per device, and we're looking to purchase?
So it'd be only one of the 2,800 and two of the $399.
It doesn't look like you got the $399 either.
This one right here, did you see this one?
No.
Another page.
So, two of these.
Yep.
One of the others.
Yep.
And the license, not to draw, just making sure I understand. Is the license for the larger, more expensive drone, but not
Just to fly
necessarily for this?
any drone.
Any drone.
Any drone. It's like you getting in your car and not having a license.
So-
If you were gonna fly a drone, you're expected to have a license.
So that's, I guess where I'm heading is, there's 3 drones and 2 licenses. We'll never have all 3 drones in the air, because we only have 2 licenses?
No, you can have all, if you
You're
have,
licensing the person.
you're licensing the person, not the drone. So,
Right, so we only have 2 people that
Correct.
could ever lift a drone off the ground for us.
that is correct.
I thought
And those
there
2
was-
would only be staff members, not
That is correct.
volunteers.
But if we had members or volunteers who wanted to go out on their own and get licensed,
Okay, yeah.
then they would be able to do that. That would be a stipulation before you went out and flew the drone. You'd have to get licensed.
I thought there
I
was a
think Ray was thinking
maximum
is the
height
two
for.
small.
There is
they
a
might use
maximum-
At the same time, but then they'll use that one at the times, so, you know.
What
So-
phone would you want to use?
There-
There
But
is
they
a-
might not need to use this one, they might only need to use that, and there's 2 of those that they can go out and do that, but once in a while, they might need this big one, right?
So, my question to Kevin is, I thought there was a maximum height at which you don't need a license. Like 50 feet off the ground, you can fly without a license, kind of thing.
My understanding is if you're gonna fly a drone, you need a license.
At all.
That's my understanding. Is if you're gonna fly a drone legally, you need a license.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
These are all good questions.
Do we have any existing drone hardware at the studio?
We do not.
Meaning a drone?
Do we have any existing drone equipment at the studio?
We do not.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I thought there was one. but-
I never found any receipts for a drone.
Okay. That's right. I was just curious.
My understanding is that these questions precede me.
Yes.
Maybe
Me
so.
too,
Yep.
because I have no
Yes.
idea what they're talking about.
That's fine.
But I never, I mean, there were
It
receipts.
could have been an individual's drone, that's all.
Yeah, there were receipts back to 2009 when the corporation started in the drawer, and I think there were just like 2 receipts because there were checks that we still have the same checkbook. There were 2 receipts that I could not find, and it was for like $11,000. So I don't know if a drone was actually purchased or not, but I never found any receipts for one.
Yeah, I think there was footage on our,
There is.
There is footage.
at one point. That must
Looking
have been
at the
drone. But
library.
it could have been a volunteers, I don't know who's.
I
someone
was
else's
told that was another studio's drone
Okay.
that was done with.
Trust me, if we had a drone, I'd already be out there playing.
No.
drone.
You
Yeah.
know,
I'll be clamoring for a
You'd
license,
be
right?
recording this meeting with it.
Can the directors get licenses too?
if you
It was the website.
wanted to, I mean, it's up to you if you wanted to. Would you want to fly one?
I would want to fly one, yeah, but I don't know if I would do it all the time. I just
Could
want
you-
to try it out.
Is there, and this might be worth just asking Peter, Mr. Sereno, are there
Mr.
rules
Schaefer,
to
you
stay?
mean? Oh, you mean
Mr.
for
Sereno,
sports?
to stay away from the sports area for fear of them landing? I just, the utilization of the drone, I love the idea and the science of it, but I didn't know if we could actually use them near different events.
It's an excellent question, and I would speculate, and I think we're all sitting here speculating that you probably wouldn't want to just in case. But I want to say that there have been folks when we had Founders Day last year. Individuals flying over the fireworks with people down below. You know, we can't.
Yeah, but I think we would have a liability if one of our drones hurt somebody.
It's correct.
We'll watch from the sidelines.
Just something I never thought of it.
No, but it's something I can look
Start
further.
looking at.
I
But
can
I
look
mean,
further
for stuff
into.
what you're talking about, it's fine.
Right.
You know, you're gonna actually take pictures of the town.
Yeah, like community landscape, zooming
Yeah.
into the town hall. It all makes sense. It makes
Yeah.
perfect sense of why we would have such a production.
Right.
I just didn't know what other utilization we could have aside from that still, and I don't mean standing still, but
Right.
like the imagery of a town hall.
I mean, it's always beautiful to see aerial footage. I mean, it's I'm always in awe of it when I see it, and someone does a very nice job. You know, you want to follow and see
Or
more.
construction activity of a town building, things like that. Yeah.
And I believe that a drone was used for the building of this.
Exactly.
Yes, and I think for that, and
Oh, yeah.
and I actually spoke with Rich Bykowski, who is the school district's IT director, and I believe they have a drone. So, and I think they used. I believe that you had a couple of teachers who used their drone to, you know, follow the progress of the school being built.
Yes.
No kidding.
It definitely was.
Yep. So,
Do you air that on Abington Cam? Where is that footage?
it's a good question.
School building committee probably have it, and trying to think of who's still around that Alicia might know.
Sure. Sure.
We
I can
can
look-
use it on the fire station when they build the new fire station, right?
Right? Yep, excellent idea. And my final note is I'm going to look to hold an open house, try to see if we can get some volunteers. That was one thing that I've had conversations with Peter Sereno, and that is just if we can get more folks to volunteer and be a part of covering games like Bob Malloy used to do.
Yeah.
Out there, you know, covering soccer games and calling the games, and Gary Roy, and you know, different folks. You know, we the folks who are part of the boosters, you know, have asked what they can do, and the hope is maybe we can have some of them come in. It is something I should note is that the boosters have been big supporters of what we do here. Actually, bought myself and Matt jackets with you know, with some you know, it wasn't just a regular jacket.
Green Wave logos.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, you know, it was something that was you know,
Nice recognition.
Nice
Yeah.
recognition, yeah.
you know, for all the work that's been done. But they also worry about what happens when we start losing our funds, and so if we can bring folks in to not only do regular programs but also to cover certain events,
Yeah,
that'd be great too.
Parents can get involved. You know,
Yes.
if they're going to be at their kid's game, why not help pitch in?
Yes.
You know,
So,
Do you think, is there
like a
anything that, like the camera signage or the microphone
flag.
flag that would be of any benefit to attracting volunteers?
Sure. But I try to when we do programming, make sure that a lot of our stuff has our marketing, whether it's a bug or whatever, so folks know that it's an Abington CAM product.
But I mean, on the field, like, if you're out, I mean, everybody, probably most of the parents know what you're doing there anyway, but like.
But we have shirts, like, so we just purchased new, we actually did new
Yeah.
colors, green and white, for folks, if anybody's interested in a t-shirt next time we meet up. I just need your sizes, but.
So there, people recording at events have a T-shirt on
Well,
that says Abington CAM on the
Abington
back,
CAM,
or-
Abington CAM, or everybody has a lanyard. Like all the interns must have a lanyard. That was when I met with Jonathan Bourne last year. That was one of the first things he had mentioned, to make sure that students have somewhat of a lanyard or credentials that basically would say, I'm here with, and I'm here to do this.
But I mean, generally, just to be conspicuous, Abington CAM on your back, and with the hopes of somebody will say, hey, can I help out?
Yeah, well, that's what the t-shirts would be for. You get some hats, you know.
Do they have
like
stuff
that.
they wear now?
Yes.
They do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why we've done the different types of swag, whether it was last year's graduating interns got the bucket hats.
Bucket hats.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
year we
he
did
says that remains.
sweatshirts. Those are a hot commodity. I got the interns this year going, Kelly, I'm like going,
Bucket hats?
yeah,
It's for the sun.
Oh,
yes.
I see.
Yep. So that,
Not
yeah.
Abe Lincoln hats.
It's also for fishing.
Right. So, but that's my report.
Okay,
Good work. Thanks for sharing
Thank
those
you.
details.
so,
Well, good. You can put that on the next agenda, and we'll talk about it next week.
okay.
That way, everybody's prepared.
Just totally unprepared for that one. So, we're good?
We're good.
Do you have a motion?
Move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.